Hi everyone, it's Kana. I'm sharing with you how to introduce seasonal decor minimally, including how to make a dried flower garland. The climate has changed so much that we may not be experiencing the seasonal change as before. That doesn't mean we can't enjoy the seasonal shift. No, I don't mean to go out and buy loads of seasonal decorative items just for the sake of it. What I mean is to pay attention to the small change that occurs in nature, the sound, the light, the wind. Appreciate it and bring that feeling indoors. Nothing drastic is needed, just a small change in the house makes such a big difference. In this video, I'll be sharing with you 5 simple fall decor ideas, including how to make a dried flower garland. 1. Start with fabric. 2. Corral small things. 3. Light those candles. 4. Warm drinks and hot soups. 5. DIY dried flower garland. 1. Start with fabric. I change the textiles around the house to welcome the new season. I don't have an exact date, and it's different depending on the year. Some years it feels chilly already in the beginning of September, and some years like this year it doesn't get cold until mid-October. I just change them whenever it feels right. I use cotton and linen throw pillow covers for spring and summer, and something a little heavier for colder months. Currently, I like to use these quilted warm fabric and a white fluffy one made of fake fur. I have one rule in regards to pillows. Always buy machine washable pillow inserts and covers. That's how I keep my sanity. Another textile to bring out when the temperature drops and my feet start to feel cold is a throw blanket. Here, the most important factor is how it feels against my skin. This one is my favorite, and it actually is an oversized scarf made of cashmere. I can use it when working on a computer or reading a book, and take it with me when going outside. Oh look, my dog gets a special blanket for the season too, and he already knows this is the most comfortable place to snuggle up. Two, corral small things. I corral small things on this plate throughout the year, and I change little by little what I gather on a plate according to the season. I usually keep the candles, sprigs of dried flowers, and bundle of herbs. When leaves start to fall, I pick them up from my morning walk and collect them on a plate. They don't last that long, maybe only a few days, but that's the beauty of nature. Nothing lasts forever. There's a good reason to corral or gather small things on a plate, a tray, or space on a desk or dresser. As a person who believes in simple living, I want to keep the decorative items to a minimal. Placed sporadically around the house, they don't mean much. However, once they are gathered in one confined area, like a plate, they gain presence. Since I only own one pumpkin for Halloween season, I place it on this cabinet together with the leaves. This is the only place that expresses Halloween season, and I'm happy with it. Three, light those candles you have. This is definitely a ritual I picked up while living in Sweden. Granted, we are blessed with plenty of sunshine throughout the year, even in the deepest of winter here in Yokohama. However, gradually and surely the days get shorter and nights get longer. I don't mind the longer evening hours though, because it means that I get to enjoy the candlelight. I light candles during the summer too, but the candlelight feels so much more magical during the colder months. Don't you agree? I usually light one fragranced candle coupled with non-fragranced tea lights or pillar candles. Again, corralling is the key here. Hot drinks and soups. I know you're thinking, drinks and soups are not home decor? No, they aren't. But to me, they are a must in terms of enjoying fall vibes. You see, I feel that we should enjoy the seasonal shift with all our senses. When we decorate the house, we satisfy maybe our vision and our touch. But imagine the steam and smell of squash soup cooking on stove, a cup of warm drinks, instantly relaxing our hands and stomach, the flavors of warm spices. These are essential part of colder season. So I make sure to enjoy the sensation these warm drinks and soups can provide. Here in Yokohama, it doesn't get cold even in late October and early November. So what I like to do is to wear a short-sleeved shirt and sit outside so that those hot drinks feel extra inviting. Now, I enjoy seasonal baking, so to me, October means making pumpkin pie. By the way, I recently posted a video on how to make gluten-free kabocha pumpkin pie, so I'm going to put the link here. Anyways, whenever I bake a pie, I make sure to pre-cook extra kabocha pumpkin so that I can enjoy warm kabocha soup later on. Just puree the steamed kabocha with milk and water and keep it refrigerated. Whenever you're serving it, warm it up, add extra milk if it's too thick, and season to taste. I like to season only with salt, but of course you can add pepper or any other warm spices as you like. Serve hot with a drizzle of olive oil. And 5. How to make a dried flower garland. This year, I decided to make a garland with dried flowers that my mother makes. These dried flowers capture really late summer to early autumn colors, and these are perfect for autumn decoration. I'm going to thread them through to make a garland. So here's what you need: dried flowers, leaves, and herbs, and a needle, and thread about 2 feet long times however many as you need, and I will explain later. A note about types of dried flowers for this craft. Whenever doing a dried flower craft, you want to use fresh dried flowers. Now that sounds like an oxymoron. Some say dried flowers are not fresh. But there's a common misconception about dried flowers. They're not just old dead flowers that dried up after they have had their life in a vase full of water. Proper dried flowers are grown with a mind to be dried, harvested at the right timing so that there's not much water left in the bloom, at the right timing of ripeness or openness to bring out the best color and shape, dried immediately to preserve the natural color. Naturally dried flowers don't last forever. Don't let your dried flowers sit on your tabletop after their colors have faded, just collecting dust. Enjoy them while they're still vivid and their petals still intact. The garland I'm trying to make here needs to be threaded with a needle. The fresher the dried flower, the sturdier the petals and stems. If you use old dried flowers, they just crumble at your fingertips. Okay, now you know why I say use fresh dried flowers. Let's start off by cutting the flowers off of their stems. Now, depending on the type of flower, cut off the stems completely or leave few inches on. Since naturally dried flowers are subtle in their color anyways, even if they're vivid, I find it better to use many different colors and shapes for this project. You can use leaves, grasses, and herbs too. Prepare a thread about 2 feet long or 60 centimeters and thread a needle. Bring the tail of the thread all the way to the tip of another thread so that you have a double thread. No need to tie a knot at this point. Thread 1 or 2 sturdy flowers. Slowly move the flower towards the end of your thread, leaving about 3 inches or 7 to 8 centimeters of thread at the end. Now take the thread one by one, tie a double knot at the end so that the flower doesn't slip through. Keep the end, don't cut off the thread yet, and continue to thread through with a needle. For any flowers or leaves that just don't feel natural to thread through with a needle, just tie them around, like these leaves with stems on. When you have about 3 inches or 7 to 8 centimeters of thread left, stop threading, cut off the thread from the needle and tie into a double knot. This will be the head of the strand. Don't cut off the extra thread yet. There you go, one short strand of a garland. Start over with another thread and continue with however many flowers you have, or until you have enough to make a garland of desired length. No matter how long you want the finished garland to be, I suggest that you make many short strands rather than making one long one. Oh, this is such a fun project. Even the petals that have fallen off are pretty. Anyways, I made about 8 long strands and about 2 really short ones just to use up the extra flowers I had. Now you want to tie the tail of one strand to the head of another, so just line them up in the order you want to tie them: head, tail, so on. Start tying 2 strands together. Take the tail threads in one hand, the head threads in the other, and simply make a double or triple knot. And cut off the extra. Sometimes you might end up with a gap that's a little too big. In that case, simply tie around another flower to hide that gap. Ta-da! Here's a dried flower garland ready to be hung on a wall.